Hi guys, my name is Nonima Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Judge Rata, something that he said the last day of court. That was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday, this past Friday. What was the date on Friday? The 6th, ne? Yes, Friday, 6th of December 2025, the last day of court. I want us to talk about that, something that he said, because that made me think, did the judge or did Judge Rata just decide the case before hearing it? He is busy saying he's calling Gininda and his other people that are arrested, Gwabini, and wants to clarify the beating of Gwabini. I don't even know what it has to do with. We've already talked about that with the application that was done. Anyway, so I want us to talk about that. But before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end, and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you'll be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now, let's get into this. In a criminal trial, credibility is everything. Who do you believe? Who do you want to trust? Whose version decides the fate of 5 men? But today, let's go like nuclear bomb. Let's go nuclear and talk about this because, wow. Because in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, something unthinkable happened. Judge Rata Mokgoatlheng made a statement, a single statement that may have destroyed the fairness of the trial. A statement that indirectly says the accused are lying and Brigadier Gininda tells the truth. He made something along those lines. And he said this before. He said this before before even Gininda took the stand. He said, "Oh, guys," he said this way before even Ugwabini was saying the things that he is saying. He said this in ngesikhathi sabo Ntanzi, ngesikhathi sabo Sibiya. He's been saying a lot. Okay, this is not a small issue, most right? This is a trial-altering event. Let's break it down. All right. There is a statement that shook the trial. During a dispute over police assault allegations, Judge Rata Mokgoatlheng said, Gininda is a senior policeman who would never have allowed an assault. He did. That one sentence carries three explosive implications. One, Gininda is inherently credible. Two, the accused and Gwabini inherently not credible. Inherently not credible. Three, the judge has already chosen a side. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how a trial collapses. So Judge Rata already did a legal credibility finding. Okay. Credibility must be determined after evidence is led. Cross-examination is completed. Factual disputes are tested. Arguments are made, not before. But here, the judge simply assumed senior police don't allow assaults. Therefore, the accused were never assaulted and Gwabini was never assaulted. Therefore, the police's version is true. This is called a premature credibility ruling and it is illegal. Let's bring relevant case law. State versus Basson, 2007. A judge must not appear to be aligning with the state. State versus Jaipal. Credibility findings cannot be made without evidence. State versus Lubaka. A judge cannot supplement the state's case with personal assumptions. But that is exactly what happened there by Senzo Meyiwa trial. That is exactly what happened. If a judge says a senior officer would never allow assault, then the judge is indirectly saying, so the accused are lying about being beaten. So Gwabini, the witness, is also lying about being beaten. That's a factual finding, not an opinion, a finding. And that destroys the presumption of innocence, the right of a fair trial, the right to present a defense, the right to be believed until evidence proves otherwise. This is no longer an equal playing field. This is the judge telling the world, I trust Gininda, I don't trust the accused and their witnesses. And remember, the accused have not told their full torture stories yet, because we only have accused number 1 who came and gave full testimony. Untanzi has not come, which is accused number 2. Who accused number 3, which is Mube, has not come. Who accused number 4, which is Mapisa, has not come. Who accused number 5, which is Ntuli, has not come. We don't know what stories they are going to bring. And also, we don't know what stories are going to be brought forward by the defense witnesses, because Gwabini is a witness and he is also talking about assault. What if Magwaza is also called and Magwaza is also claiming Gininda's people, including Gininda, beat him up? What happens then? What happens if there are other people that were beaten up for them to cooperate? I don't know, man. We are just going to see what is going to happen. And remember, the accused have not even started talking, or not just only, I said earlier, they have not told their full torture stories yet. Gininda, when they come and say Gininda did ABC, what is Judge Rata going to do? Gininda has not yet testified about this Gwabini issue. And Gininda is going to be implicated, I suppose, even when it comes to accused number 2, accused number 3. We don't know what's going to come out. No evidence have been weighed, no dispute have been resolved, yet the judge has already decided who is truthful before even hearing Gininda, because witnesses may come. Uram Sipile came and asked Friday, asked a question of very important. What happens if other witnesses come and say they were assaulted? And then he said, yeah, we will call the police again. Aibo Judge Rata. Aibo Webaba. Are you for real right now? And all of this, what I like about all of these things that this judge is doing, they will bring forth the consequences of appeal, recusal, tainted record. I don't know what the defense or the accused will want to do January. I don't know. If a judge shows bias, the entire trial is contaminated. Every decision becomes suspicious. A premature credibility finding opens the door for a recusal application because the judge has shown a reasonable apprehension of bias. Remember, this is the same judge that they said there is a plot to assassinate. So by now, he's supposed not to be in that case, by the way. An appeal even before the case is over, because credibility findings must be based on evidence, not assumptions. A future miscarriage of justice claim, if these men are convicted, they will argue the judge never believed us from the start. A potential mistrial, if appellate courts find this to be prejudicial, then do you understand, guys, what is happening in this? And this alone, Jay, that all of this is quite a nuclear bomb on its own. The things that that judge does in that courtroom, because the trial now faces an uncomfortable reality. The judge's words favor the state. He effectively elevated Gininda above scrutiny. He's not going to scrutinize him. Gininda is fine. Defense arguments are undermined. Accusations of torture now starts from a position of disbelief. So how is he going to find or listen in a right manner or in a right frame of mind? If he comes and say, Gininda is a senior police officer. Public confidence is shaken. People are now asking, is this still a fair trial? The accused may feel the outcome is predetermined. And if the judge already trusts Gininda, then every police witness that follows benefits from the same presumption. What the judge should have said, a lawful neutral judge would say, these allegations will be tested through evidence. This court has not made any findings. Instead, we got, he would never have allowed an assault. That's not testing evidence. That's rejecting it before it arrives. And the big question now, how can a judge sworn to neutrality declare a senior officer incapable of wrongdoing in a country where IPID reports hundreds of police assault cases every year? That is not logic. That is not evidence. That is bias. Whether you support the state or the defense, this fact remains. A judge must never decide credibility in advance. A judge must never assume a witness tells the truth before testimony. And a judge must never, ever bolster the state's case with personal opinions. Because once a judge speaks, the entire trial shifts. And now, this trial has shifted into dangerous territory. That is what is happening here. Anyway, guys, stay tuned. This story is far from over. We are still going to hear a lot of this and that when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case. I will see you on our next video. Thank you so much. Please do drop your comments on our comment section so that we can have a discussion. What are your thoughts when it comes to Judge Rata's credibility finding of Gininda way before he even takes the stand? What do you think is happening there? Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.